Hello everyone, my name is Liu Zini. My partner is Yibo Yang. We are from Tutorial A Group 4. Our case study is Business Jet Makers China. The case summary is China is the third biggest territory country in the world, and the number of billionaires is only less than America. Unbelievably, there are no more than 400 number of business jets in China. Business aviation market is a sweet cake that attracts those foreign business jet makers. A world of Chinese economy slowdown misleads foreign business jet makers. Rapidly, those business jet makers engage into selling business jets in China. However, they suffer lots of troubles, such as 2008 global financial crisis causes decreasing of jet orders, and business jet taking off per hour is also limited by the airports. Terribly, the campaign of anti-corruption is claimed by Xi Jinping, who is the president of China. These campaigns causes a bad reflection on the ordering of business jets by state-owned corporations. Before those business jets makers expire, the 5-year plan policy is released by the Chinese government. The military of China gave business jets a jumbo sky space to develop Chinese non-airline aviation. Thus, those business jet companies develop rapidly in China. Those jet makers include Cessna, Learjet of Canada, Beech Hawker, and so on.
Hi, I'm Bo Yang, and I'm going to discuss the first research question regarding this case study. So why are corporate jet makers so eager to enter China? The world Chinese economy is slowed down. China is scanned by business jet organizations and find these are a lot of opportunities to obtain high profit. Well, finally, those jet makers want to be first position in Chinese origin business jet aviation. And the analysis tool we're going to use to analyze this issue is SWOT analysis. So SWOT analysis is used by companies to evaluate the internal and external environment factors, which all cause the potential loss to company or gain the competitive advantage to achieve sustainable development in the future. And SWOT analysis consists of strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Internal environment elements include strengths and weakness. External environment elements include opportunities and threats. Companies should scan environment and make strategy decisions for international business. So first, for internal environment scan, the strengths means the advantages that make the company become the superior industry, corporate culture that make employee work more efficient. The business jets producers know they have higher technique than Chinese. And the weakness is the shortage of company that might cause potential loss, weak partners that might cause no advantage competitions in other industry. The external environment is opportunities, which is scan the environment, find market opportunities that obtain sustainable competitive advantages. These are plentiful opportunities. Chinese territory is the third biggest, and the number of billionaires is second in the world. However, China is lack of business jet market before business jets producers enter Chinese market, and therefore the business jet enterprise wants to extend their business to China. Chinese government released 5-year plan policy that will efficient the development of business jet industry in China. Regarding the threats, first of all, the government intervention could be a threat to the company because before business jet company enter the Chinese market, they do not realize the Chinese policy and military limit the development of business jet industry. For example, the anti-corruption campaign business jet taking off is limited by airports and military control the whole Chinese sky. The second point is that the culture. Chinese culture is much different from foreign countries. The company should consider the culture difference and modify some elements that will offend potential buyers or even Chinese government, such as the Gulfstream 250 event. 250 in China is useless if Gulfstream do not handle this event properly. It might cause a vital negative impact on the Chinese market. The third point would be competitors. There are a lot of competitors in Chinese business jet aviation, such as Boeing, Airbus, Embraer, Cessna, Learjet of Canada, and Bchaka. The next section will be recommendation. So, based on the SWOT analysis, the business jet corporations should consider the internal environment. Firstly, what kind of competitive advantage do companies have, which is hard imitable, such as the patent? And second one would be whether companies have capacity to achieve buyers' requirement. On the other hand, the external environment, Chinese culture, is different from foreign countries. The company should pre-consider the Chinese culture and do not offend their taboo. The best way to solve the cultural difference is hire Chinese employees and listen to their advice. Furthermore, managers should consider the Chinese policy before making decisions and quickly respond to the new policy that is released by Chinese government to formulate profitable business strategy.
Based on the question 2, from an institution-based view, what needs to be done to enhance the prospects of its industry in China? An institution needs to know the vital law of China. There are lots of countries in the world with different important policy. In China, the business jet is defined as luxury. Buyers will suffer the heavy duties and taxes to purchase the business jets, which are made by foreign producers. An institution needs to calculate the total cost and define the selling price to achieve the sustainable development in Chinese business aviation. More importantly, Chinese culture is complex. The entire union, which is combined by 56 nationalities. There are plentiful beliefs and taboos, and the organization might offend potential buyers. Therefore, it's vitally important to know diversified Chinese culture background. The related concept is 4 risks of global business. The 4 risks of global business includes cross-culture risk, country risk, currency risk, and commercial risk. Firstly, the cross-culture risk is miscommunication refers to not only the verbal language barriers, but also the non-verbal communication differences across different cultures. What is normal in one culture context may be seen as inappropriate or even offensive in another, such as a kiss on the cheek and direct eye contact may be normal to Western country, but it is not appropriate in Eastern country contexts, namely China and Japan. And then is a country risk. The Economist Intelligence Union assesses country risks through 5 areas: sovereign, currency, banking, politics, and economy structure. Sovereign risk refers to the change of government failing to make debate, repace, or not honoring a law agreement. And then it's currency risk. This mainly refers to the exchange rate risks, since currency fluctuation affect of company cash flows such as inflation rate. Finally, it's a commercial risk. This is a risk that arises when the company does not follow or act according to the predetermined strategies or fails to do so. It also happens when the company's daily operations is jeopardized by internal issues such as scandals and mismanagement. The recommendation: in the case of Chinese business jet aviation, an institution needs to know more about the Chinese culture before they enter the Chinese market. Because of the cross-culture risk, it might cause the company's strategy fail, which is not suitable for Chinese culture. Frequently observe the exchange rate to estimate the profit margin is also necessary to against the currency risk. About the culture risk is change the business strategy as the change Chinese policy.